Thanks for joining me back in the ultimate Riverside tent tarp camping. Now, today's episode, I'm going to be explaining how I set up a little tarp, Riverside Lakeside, and we're going to enjoy the session today. It's a nice, shiny summer's day. Clouds are in the sky, and I feel like it should be an exciting, relaxing episode. Thank you for joining me here. It's always a pleasure to have you. And if you're following along with the series, you'll know I'm basically going through and explaining how I enjoy my days relaxing. In this episode, I'm going to be making a refreshing yogurt drink and setting up my tarp to chill riverside by the lake. You can see there's loads of mosquitoes and midges around, so keep an eye out for those when you're traveling. I'm hoping you can use this as inspiration to get out yourself. If not, I'm taking you along to my secret spot where the lock is a bit rusty. The water is almost hitting at banks, and we've got lots of little goose. It's windy. We've got goose, Canadian goose, swans, and a nice open sky to relax. It's mainly keeping what you have and improving what you can do. So it's always difficult to get outdoors when the weather's a bit rainy, but I have done a couple of rain episodes which have been really good and interesting. I'm hoping these summer episodes give you a feel of nature, what it sounds like outdoors, what you can hear and how you can feel when you take a break. It's always amazing to find new locations, and spending times outside is good, and it can be tricky finding the right spot. So I always have a look around to see what's there, what can help me. Nice tall grass. We've got this tree that has been felled, and we can sit on the tree and use it as a seating area and look into the water. And this is a enclosed lake reservoir, and there's loads of sandy spots. When the lake or the water is lower than usual, it shows sandy beach areas. And what I like to do is go through and find those areas. Always keep an eye out for any water spots which are exceeding into the location. So you'll see this is one of my early episodes, and this is where I enjoyed having a day and a session. And I do also use one of these images from this session as my thumbnail. So you'll be interested to know this is where it came from. So as you step off the grass area and you go into the sandy, stony beach area, you've basically got lots of spaces. So today we are going to set up, and I'll see what is a good spot for a tent or a tarp. When it's sunny, we don't really need a tent. A tent can get a bit smoggy, so it gets very warm and sweaty. So we like to have an open setup, and I've got a new bag here. So you'll see this is the first time I use a bag in this scenario. This is obviously one of the earlier videos when I was creating my camping gear. So I like to have a nice solid bag which is like waterproof. It's a duffel bag, and I used one of those Aldi special tarps and a folding chair. So I like to get those out first because we can have a rest in the chair as soon as we set up the tarp. And you'll see some of the big goose are around as well, and swans. And the tarp itself, it's a waterproof material. It's fairly big. It gives you enough protection to set up, and you've got options here for putting it where you want it. It does come with extendable poles. So what I do is position it where I want, just to create some shade so we can relax. I've considered this as a future fishing episode possibly, but I think this lake does not hold many fish. So I'm doing a scouting mission today, just to keep an eye out on the water, see how the water is. Is it going to be potential for fishing? And you'll see you use your surroundings just to get your tent or tarp set up, using the guy ropes there pinned down to the ground and also to the tree behind us. So now we're going to be paying close attention to the water to see what wildlife is here, and is there potential of me bringing my fishing rod ahead and doing some lure fishing, or can we catch a few pike or perch, or maybe something totally different. So the water's nice and clear, I would say, considering you can see down up to a couple of feet. And it's always amazing to be waterside because it always sounds amazing, and you can actually get lots of benefits by relaxing and rehydrating yourself. Not obviously drinking the lake water, but we will be preparing a yogurt drink today, which I'm going to share with you, and we'll see how good it can be in this spot. So the main thing here is we're rejuvenating, we're relaxing, and we're checking out our gear. What works, what doesn't work, what do we need to bring more of. I've got a nice large bottle of water here, and we're going to make a cold drink. So in this, I got 2 large spoons of yogurt with a pinch of salt. So yogurt in the sense that you can get like different types of yogurt, but this is the bitter type. I put some water in there and I just shake it, and it actually creates like a milky yogurty drink, often known as like a milkshake or a milk lassi, and it actually is very beneficial for you. It cools you down on a hot day because it's not really milk, but it's not sour milk. Is like in between. Sometimes you can put sugar in this and have a sweet version of it, or you could put flavorings in there like mango or other options. But I feel like because this day is going to be a long one, because we're basically hunting at this spot for future episodes and past episodes. You may have seen in the past I've done this in a specific order, so you can actually see the previous videos I've made around camping in the rain, camping on the shore, camping lakeside, riverside, and there's been various few exciting adventures. It's always great having you here with me to share these. Let's take a moment to just inspect and enjoy where we are. It's always great to see the water just splashing around and specific areas where wood has been piled up, so the birds and different wildlife are making nesting, and it's always great to see how this affects the landscape and the spaces we're using. So under this tree is a nice shady spot. Take a little walk, riverside, lakeside, just to hear how the water sounds, and always keeping an eye out for any bubbles and any places where it's familiar to see where fish may be hanging out. So having a good eye on the water, you can actually see like bubbles or movement, or you can sometimes even see fish. So it's always great to have a nice spot in your potential area to hunt it out. So it's a nice place here. We've got nice trees, we've got a nice goose, and I feel like if we were to fish here, there will be some challenges, because the water fairly close here is not as deep, and also we need to find a better spot, because I feel like the swans and the birds are going to be in the way. They're going to scare off any potential fish, and normally in an open scope of water we don't get as much fish as if there was loads of overhanging branches or interesting spots for them to hang out, because depending on the fish type, they like to spend their time relaxing. And this drink has been really rejuvenating, so it's been great to have that drink. And I feel like we've got a nice spot here that we can use for potential camping episodes in future, especially having this riverside bank and enjoying these camping sessions. Have you been camping? What would be your favorite spot to go camping? Do you like being near water? Do you like being near a good eyesight and good mountains or views, or high up? Or would you like to keep an eye on the cityscape around you? It's always interesting, and we all have specific requirements, but do let me know if I can make one of those in the future, because I am planning a few more traveling episodes. And as we're building up my camping gear, you're kind of seeing where I started, how I make these better, how I've got specific bags which can easily carry the gear that I'm using, and then also trying to make it dual purpose, so having it so that we've got somewhere to be out of the rain, we've got a seating location and cooking as well. So this time we made a specific just a drink, but this kind of preps us for the types of things we will need for the future. And having this sandy bank, we did notice that you'll notice that we used pegs to put the tarp in, but I feel like if it got a little bit windy, those pegs will get pulled out, so I need to get better quality pegs. I need to get a little bit more water. I only had 2 liters this time, and if we're going to spend some time here, we may be getting a pair of binoculars, because we can keep an eye out on the wildlife and see what's going on around us. You can see in the distance there's a bit of sailing going on, so kayaking and sailing is on this lake as well. and it's always great to see that. So I feel like this is something we want to spend a little bit of time on, just so we know what does well, what does not do well, where we can spend a little bit more time improving and having some gear set up so that we can basically be a bit more adventurous. So how easy is it to set up the tarp? How easy was it to put out and put back in the bag? Did the sand cause us any problems? The day was a lovely day, and I feel like I refreshed. And this is one of the ones where we've kind of done one not in the rain, and this bag is quite handy because it can be put on your back or you can carry it itself. So overall, these episodes are slowly getting to a point where I'm getting a bit more confident being outdoors with camping and keeping safe with all the equipment. So let's have a quick look around at what's available here if we do decide to come back. So I like the trees and the roots, and you would have seen one of my rain episodes, and that was actually filmed there when it was really badly raining and my tent and tarp blew away. So we're going to definitely come back to this. So check out the cards. I will give you a link to my playlist, and I'm hoping you're finding these intriguing as we go along. I'm going to include a bit more excitement in future ones, so stay tuned, and thank you for joining me in this episode. I'll see you on the next one, which is on screen right now.